Are you thinking about starting your own business, your own agency, or perhaps you're thinking about getting into freelancing? In this video, I'm going to share some of my biggest mistakes that I made while I was working for myself so you can avoid them. They say the best way to learn is from your mistakes. The second best way is to learn from other people's mistakes. Very fast backstory. I've been working in real estate for over 18 years. Ever since I was young, I wanted to work for myself. Back in 2015, I took the leap and started my own agency, and Fleming Real Estate was up and running at the start of 2016. My very first mistake came with early success. A few months into setting up, I was contacted by one of the biggest food brands in the entire world and asked if I was in a position to take over their Irish portfolio and manage their Irish property portfolio for them. I obviously said yes and jumped at the opportunity. A few people heard about this appointment and offered me some new instructions. Things were moving in the right directions and I was getting a lot of great instructions. So what went wrong? Nothing really went wrong, but I did make a big mistake. Success came way too early at the start. My network fed me instructions. I didn't really have to hustle, didn't have to dig deep at the start for my early success. But that wasn't my biggest mistake. My biggest mistake in this was I didn't build on this early momentum that I had. Something that I know now is so important, that you have to build on momentum. I know now that finding momentum is hard. The way that I try find it now at the moment is I set up good routines and good habits, and hopefully this builds momentum. But once you do find momentum, do everything in your power to hold on to it. I'm really lucky to be still engaged by many of these fantastic brands that I picked up nearly 6 years ago. But I could have built on this success way more. My second mistake is something that I still make all the time. And it is something that's part of my personality. And that mistake is I think I can do everything myself, and I'm not great at asking for help from other people or mentorship or even coaching. I myself have done coaching and I see the benefits of it, so much so that I actually went out and became a qualified coach myself because I wanted to understand more about coaching, because I could see the benefits of it. But I'm constantly not asking for enough help or enough advice when I need it, because I believe that I can do everything myself, and that's a big mistake. If you want to grow a very successful business, you have to know to ask for help when you need it. Over the last few years, I've been lucky enough to meet many founders and business owners, and there's one thing that they all have in common, or most of them have in common, and that is that they all had mentors from a very early age, and they all embraced coaching. A similar mistake I made was I wasn't great at delegating. I was good at outsourcing a lot of tasks. I got a virtual assistant, I got people to help with accounts, web designs, marketing, etc. But what I never really delegated, or what I never really did, was I never really delegated any income generating tasks. I did free up a lot of my time, so I was able to focus on income generating tasks. If you want to be really successful in business, you have to find a way to delegate some of the income generating tasks to other people. If you're watching this video right now and you're thinking about setting up a business or becoming a freelancer, you should understand the power of video and the power of YouTube. Perhaps a major mistake of mine is not growing my YouTube sooner. I set up my business in 2016. I also set up a YouTube channel at the same time, but I never really focused on posting any videos to the YouTube channel until about 2020. That was 4 years of a lost opportunity. I think now, looking back, that was a major mistake I made. And also, on top of that, I didn't really focus on building an email database. I hope you don't make the same mistake. Social media can be a very powerful tool for lead generation. YouTube itself can be your marketer, your PR, and your lead generator. I myself am only really seeing the benefits of YouTube maybe 2 years into this journey. And my advice to anyone would be get on the camera and put out some YouTube videos. But if that's not you and you don't want to be on camera or don't want to put your business out there on film and YouTube, etc., what I would recommend doing is building an email database as soon as you possibly can. So are you able to guess what the biggest mistake that I made running my own business for the last 6 years? I think some of the mistakes that I've mentioned within this video already should give you some sort of clue what my biggest mistake has been. I think many business owners, entrepreneurs, and freelancers make this mistake, but it's so important that when you see it or when it happens, you try avoid it as much as possible, or you try correct it as much as possible when it actually happens. A lot of the smaller mistakes that I've mentioned in this video already led to this huge mistake. Let me know in the comments below if you can guess what it is. Pause the video right now and have a guess. The biggest mistake that I made was I created a job for myself. Everything was based around my own knowledge. If you are thinking about starting a business or becoming a freelancer, you must be very careful to avoid this mistake and don't just create a job for yourself. I was thinking about calling this video my biggest regrets for starting a business, but that wouldn't be fair. I don't have any regrets. I've loved every minute of working for myself. I don't regret any of it. But mistakes do need to be lessons, and I'm trying to learn from those lessons, and I'm always now trying to create something or move away from it just being a job for myself. I think this is a very important lesson to learn. I'm glad I've learned it now. I feel that I still want to work, still want to be productive for the next 25 years or more. I don't fancy retirement all that soon. So I still want to work and be productive, but I think a lot of my efforts now need to focus on building residual income as well as building long-term value. As I said, no regrets, learn from your mistakes. I love what I do. Hopefully you won't make the same mistakes that I have done. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button, show your support for the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.